Friday, the all-important day with potential huge impacts for the low income. I have all the details and everything you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, the all-important day is rapidly approaching, which is exactly what I want to talk about right here in this video, and I want to discuss how this may have some massive impacts for the low income. I want to discuss what all this means and, of course, what we also need to watch for between now and the key date. So, we have a lot to talk about right here in this video. Let's get into it and discuss all of those details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you want to stay updated each and every day with everything going on right now in regards to money, benefits, raises to benefits, stimulus, checks, or anything else going on in regards to the low income, fixed income, as well as new bills, legislation, reform, any announcements out of Congress or the administration, the president, or anything else like this, of course, I'm here for you each and every day with all of these updates as your one and only daily advocate, as I truly want to help you out in any way that I possibly can right now. It's a very confusing time. It's a very busy time. Things are changing very rapidly, but that's why I'm doing all the research every single day, breaking it all down into these short videos and delivering them to you a couple times throughout the day so you can stay updated with what is actually going on during this very busy time. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and discuss why Friday is such a key date, why it is so important, and what are the potential impacts for millions and millions and millions of low income and, of course, fixed income beneficiaries. Let's get into it and discuss all of those details. All right, so let's talk about this because this is actually very important to understand. There has been something in place here for roughly the last 2.5 years. Well, it is set to expire on Friday, July 15th. In the event that they allow this to expire, it is going to have some pretty big impacts for millions and millions of low income and, of course, fixed income beneficiaries. I want to point that out for you because I do know that a lot of you here in the community are either low income, fixed income, maybe seniors, older adults, people with disabilities, and of course, I want to make sure that you're staying updated with all of this stuff going on because, like I said, it's a very busy time. Things are changing very rapidly. Things are happening very, very fast right now, and I want to point this out for you. All right, so what is this thing that's been in place? What does it mean if it actually expires, or what we want to watch for going forward, because we could potentially be seeing this actually extended? It all comes down to the Public Health Emergency Declaration. Now, this was put in place way back in January of 2020. Yes, 2.5 years ago, this was put in place. There's been many times here over the last 2.5 years where this was actually set to expire, but they come out and they say, we're going to extend it for another 60 days, another 90 days, or some type of extension. Well, the last time that they came out on this, they extended it out for 90 days. They also indicated that this is likely going to be the last time that it would be actually extended out, therefore suggesting it may actually be expiring on Friday, July 15th. Okay, well, that sounds fine, but what does this mean if it expires? Good question. Let's talk through the details because I know this is going to impact some people here in this community. So, when it comes down to the low income and fixed income, there's actually a variety of different ways here that if this is allowed to expire and if they do not actually extend it out once again, there's a few things that will be ending. However, I want to point this out really fast before we get into that list of different things as far as how the low income and fixed income may be impacted. Here's the thing. They may come out and announce another extension on this. I don't know if they're going to or not. I have no clue. But all I know is that if they typically do come out with an extension, it's usually about a day before, maybe 2 days before, maybe 3 days before, and they announce some kind of extension, usually either 60 days or 90 days, something like this. So if they do extend it, it might be for another 60 or 90 days. And again, if they extend it out, that would be a really, really good thing. But again, there's going to be a time when this will be allowed to expire. So I want to keep you posted on that. Of course, I'll continue watching the announcements very closely. If I do get any word on this being extended, of course, I'll bring that to you in a separate video. All right, but as of right now, no extension. It is still set to expire on July 15th. All right, so what does this mean? Good question. Let me tell you a few things. For those of you that are located in the roughly 20 states right now, again, give or take a couple states, but it's about 20 different states right now that are still sending out the extra allotment for SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Some people call it food stamps, but the fact of the matter is, it's, food that you get, or I should say money that's loaded onto your EBT card. You can go out to the grocery store and buy the necessary foods that you want, things like this. SNAP benefits, food stamps. For those of you in these states, you probably know which ones you are. All right, so if you're in one of the roughly 20 states that is sending out the extra allotment right now, Unfortunately, once the public health emergency declaration is allowed to expire, as in it is no longer in place, these states can no longer send out the extra allotment. Therefore, you're going to be brought back down to your regular benefit, whatever that might be. In some locations, it's $19. That's not going to get you much these days, right? It's not going to get you much at all. So please be aware of this. When the public health emergency declaration expires or it's removed, in the event that this happens, then the states that still have this extra allotment going out, this will be canceled. It's not going to be going out anymore. So please remember that. As far as what I do know, it looks like there is about a 1 month reprieve period of time, as in from the time that they do allow this to expire, it sounds like they can still send out the benefits for like 1 more month after that. So again, just keep that in mind as well, but they will be going down substantially once that allotment is actually removed. All right, so that is number one. Next, for those of you who are receiving Medicaid, not Medicare, not Medicare, Medicaid. It's very, very different. Medicare and Medicaid are two very different programs. But again, I want to make it very clear, this is specific to Medicaid. As of right now, there's about 80 million Medicaid beneficiaries in the United States. Well, what's been happening here over the last couple years is that as people have been enrolling in Medicaid, they've basically just been enrolling people. They haven't been determining people's eligibility. They haven't been questioning anything. They've basically just been saying, okay, here's some Medicaid benefits, no problem, you're in, right? But here's the problem. As soon as the public health emergency declaration is allowed to expire or it is removed, unfortunately, the states will need to start going through their rolls, as in how many people are on Medicaid, and they'll need to start removing people from the program. According to the most recent estimates that I've seen, about 15 million people will be losing their Medicaid coverages almost immediately. It's not going to be happening like the day of, but it'll be happening relatively quickly because these states need to go through, they'll need to go through all the enrollees and all the beneficiaries, and they'll need to determine who actually needs the benefits and who maybe needs to be pulled from the program. I know, it's unfortunate, but about 15 million people will be pulled from Medicaid coverages. Please remember that. That's a lot of people. So currently the 80 million people, that means it's going to go from 80 million down to about 65 million people that are covered through Medicaid. That's a big deal because if you all of a sudden get pulled from Medicaid, guess what? You don't have coverages anymore, right? Unless you have something else going on. But again, that's another very important point that I want to throw out there as well. So please remember these things. These are the two big ones that are out there right now. Now, there are other things that go alongside with this public health emergency declaration, as in states, Congress, all these different government entities, things like this, all these different groups, things like this. They do have special privileges in the event that the public health emergency declaration is still in place. So as long as this is still in place, they still have extra privileges that they can take advantage of. However, once the public health emergency declaration is actually allowed to expire or removed, then guess what? These extra privileges are no longer there, right? They can't have it because there's no public health emergency declaration in place. Therefore, if they let it expire, that means that all is fine and well. All is fine and dandy, right? Well, not really, but again, that's just what I want to point out there. Now, what is the likelihood of them actually pulling this or letting it expire? I'm going to throw this one out there. I actually anticipate them to extend this out once again. I would anticipate they're going to extend it another 90 days. Why do I think this? Here's why. Number one, as I've discussed in other videos, timing is very important on this. Do you think that they want to pull the rug out from, say, 15 to 20, maybe 30 million lower income individuals? No, they don't want to do that right now, right? So that's reason number one. Reason number two is COVID cases here in the United States have once again exceeded 100,000 cases. Well, what does that mean? Cases are ticking back up again. We bottomed out around 50,000 cases back a few months ago. Well, cases are over 100,000 once again here in the United States. So things are swinging back up. Well, according to what they're anticipating right now, we're likely going to be seeing another COVID tsunami. That's what they're calling it, a COVID tsunami this fall. So do you think they're going to pull the public health emergency declaration right before a potential tsunami of COVID is coming? I don't think so, okay? So here's what I'm saying about this. We got to pay attention to this in the event they allow it to expire. Remember, it typically happens where when something needs to happen, they typically do all the wrong things, right? They do all the opposite things. When we need checks, they don't give checks. When they need to leave a public health emergency declaration in place, they pull it. Things like this. So we need to watch for this closely. And again, they will likely come out and announce this if they do actually have an extension on this. Typically, it's extended anywhere between a day, day and a half, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days before the actual expiration is usually historically when they come out and they say, hey, we're actually going to extend this out once again. Check it out for 90 more days. So again, I'll be watching for that very closely, but I would anticipate with everything going on right now that there will likely be another extension on this, which would actually be really, really good because it allows for Congress, states, and all of these other programs to have more privileges right now. It also allows for these extra 15 million Medicaid beneficiaries to continue to get coverages. And of course, for those of you located in the roughly 20 states right now that are still sending out the bonus benefits or the extra allotment for SNAP benefits, it allows those states to continue sending those out as well. So again, you can see right here, these are just a few of the reasons. Now again, there are many other reasons than that, but I think these are the reasons that will impact the vast majority of you here in the community. So I do think it's pretty good, but again, we'll have to wait for that official announcement to see what they actually do going forward. And of course, as I do get more details, I'll be right here for you, breaking it all down, letting you know what is actually going on and if there's going to be an extension or will there be an expiration. It's going to be two different scenarios. One will be pretty good, and one will be, like, not a good situation, okay? Anyway, I'll keep you posted as I do get more details on this, but the key date, again, July 15th. That is the key date we got to watch. It is Friday, so I'll keep you posted as I do get more details on this. So please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, have a good one, enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.